Welcome, everyone, to today's Wildfire Safety Webinar for community-based organizations. My name is Liz Stout, and I'm the Program Manager for PG&E's Public Safety Power Shutoff Program team, and I will be moderating today. I am a middle-aged white woman with long, straight brown hair, and I'm wearing a white PG&E shirt. Today, we are here to share information about what we are doing to reduce wildfire risk and make our system safer. To start, you can participate in this webinar with American Sign Language by clicking the link that was just provided in the chat. If you would like to get this information in a language other than English, we have been hosting in-language webinar presentations. To view these presentations, visit pge.com/webinars. For our presentation today, we want to make sure you have the opportunity to ask questions and to give your feedback. Our presentation will be approximately 30 minutes plus time for Q&A. If you would like to ask a question, please send it at any time in the chat. If you are not able to get your question answered today, please feel free to reach us at wildfiresafety@pge.com and we will respond promptly. We will be recording today's presentation and we will post this on our website at pge.com/webinars. Now, we will start this webinar as we start all of our meetings at PG&E with a quick safety moment. We want to share tips to help you get ready for and stay safe this wildfire season. We encourage everyone to prepare for natural disasters or emergencies. Build a quick supply kit for you, your family, or your business. Make sure to include food, water, medication, flashlights, first aid kits, a list of emergency contacts, and other tools to keep you safe. For more information on how to prepare for an emergency, visit safetyactioncenter.pge.com. Now that we're off to a safe start, we will discuss our agenda. Joining me today is Tom Smith, our Senior Manager for Customer Emergency Planning and Operations team. In today's webinar, we'll be sharing information on our Community Wildfire Safety Program, wildfire safety outages, our Medical Baseline Program, and available resources for our customers to help them prepare for wildfire season and potential outages. To begin, I will hand it off to Tom Smith to share more about the Community Wildfire Safety Program and the work we are doing to prevent wildfires in our communities.
Great, thank you, Liz. Hi, my name is Tom Smith, and I'm the Senior Manager for PG&E's Customer Emergency Planning and Operations team. I'm a middle-aged white male, balding with a gray shirt on. At PG&E, our most important responsibility is the safety of our customers and communities. And California continues to experience an increase in wildfire risk and a longer wildfire season overall, even though this year is slightly different. So I want to show you on this slide, we're sharing one of the tools that we use when assessing wildfire risk in our communities, what we call the High Fire Threat District Map, HFTD for short. I understand basically using this map, this helps us understand where we need to focus our efforts. And so to do that, we first identify where the wildfire risk is the greatest. And this map that you see here was developed by the California Public Utilities Commission in coordination with CAL FIRE and the U.S. Forest Service. And it defines wildfire risk in a couple of ways. So elevated, you'll see there is the red areas on the map there. That's tier 2, and then we have the larger area of the extreme areas that are tier 3. And you can find the CPUC HFTD map by visiting ia.cpuc.ca.gov/fire map, and we'll put that in the chat because I know that was a long URL there. So as you can see, we've got the number of customers served overall, 5.2 million. And in the high fire threat districts, nearly 500,000 of our customers live in these high fire threat areas. So let's go on to the next slide and talk about how we're involving layers of protection to help protect customers from wildfires. And so since we've launched this community wildfire safety program, we've reduced wildfire risk from our equipment in various ways. And we've accomplished this through a combination of ongoing safety programs, long-term improvements, and new situational awareness tools and technologies. These measures work together to provide customers with multiple layers of protection. So undergrounding, for instance, I'm sure you've seen our commercials where we're talking about undergrounding 10,000 miles of power lines, our enhanced safety with the enhanced protection of our EPSS program. We are installing stronger power lines and keeping trees and branches away from those power lines. And then, some of our monitoring tools like our weather stations and high definition camera system. We recently joined the X Prize Wildfire as well, which is a 4-year competition that encourages and brings together entrepreneurs, scientists, and others across the world to advance tools to prevent wildfires before they become destructive. This type of collaboration with technology, philanthropy, and government partners is necessary for reducing wildfire risk across our state and beyond. And now let's talk a little bit about public safety power shutoffs. As you know, about a week and a half ago, right at the end of August going into September, we had our first PSPS event of the year. Let's really discuss what that involves. So for the safety of our customers and communities, public safety power shutoffs continue to be the necessary tool of last resort. And high winds can cause tree branches and debris to contact energized lines, damage our equipment, and cause a wildfire. As a result, we may need to turn off power during these severe weather times to help prevent a wildfire. And this is what we call the Public Safety Power Shutoff Program, or PSPS. We use this tool when we expect the weather to be so severe that people's safety, lives, homes, and businesses may be in dangers of wildfires. On August 31st, when we saw high winds coming in to the north, some of the northern counties, we had 7 different counties impacted. We saw winds at the top of some of the mountain peaks up over 40 miles per hour. And at that point, you can either see debris blowing into the lines, the potential opportunity for lines to even slap together. And when those 3 lines touch each other, there can be a spark, and that spark can spark a wildfire. Of course, every wildfire season is different. We received a lot of rain and snow over the past 3 months, but we know the dry conditions that we're having here pretty much in the late summer and may have throughout the fall are still a significant risk. The actual real-time conditions are going to determine if we need to shut off power to ensure safety. And we have a team called the Hawk. It's our weather center, 24 hours a day that is monitoring those conditions with real-time updates out to the leaders in electric operations, the customer teams, et cetera, to make sure that we all understand what's going on day by day. Right now, we don't have any R5 plus extreme fire conditions, so things are looking relatively good in terms of PSPS, looking out over the next 10 to 12 days. But of course, at any time, things could change. So if it does, you can be sure to hear from us about that. But let's talk about when a PSPS is actually forecasted, how customers are notified for a PSPS. So to keep customers and communities and community-based organizations informed, PSPS notifications are provided to agency partners and customers during the key milestones of an event, which are shown here on this slide. And these notifications are provided via call, text, and/or email, both day and night as needed. Customers who are not a PG&E account holder or want to receive notifications for another location in addition to their primary residence, so maybe there's someone you caretake for, maybe it's a school or a medical facility, et cetera, you can sign up, and we have something called address alerts. They're available in 16 languages versus via phone call or text, and you would get the same notifications for that location as you would your own home. And to ensure that all customers have the up-to-date information they need to plan and prepare, we really encourage customers to review their contact information that we have on file for you by visiting pge.com/PSPS. www.pg&e.com/mywildfirealerts. And I can't stress this enough. In the last event, we did have a number of customers, our medical baseline customers, we asked to acknowledge that they did receive those notifications. And any customers that don't acknowledge those, we actually have someone go and physically ring the doorbell. And so in this event, with about 4,000 customers impacted, there were still around 25 customers that didn't have updated contact information. We couldn't reach them. And so updating contact information does a couple of things. One, it allows us to get that critical information to those customers, but then it also negates the need for us to send somebody out just to do a wellness check and make sure that they are getting those notifications. So definitely encourage all of your clients and friends and family to update their information. Think about the last time you've changed a cell phone number, moved, etc. In terms of contact information does shift. And so think about that and get that contact info to us so we can get you those latest updates. Now let's talk about some of the support services that we do have during a public safety power shutoff. Liz is going to touch on a lot of other programs later on in the presentation, but we did want to touch on the community resource centers. So during a public safety power shutoff, we open local community resource centers so customers can access basic resources such as charging medical equipment, electronic devices, get the latest on information about public safety power shutoffs if you may not be able to get information at your home during the power outage, and then water, snacks, and other essential items depending on the season. If it's really hot outside, we'll provide ice. There have been times when the weather has been a little on the colder side, and we have provided blankets as well. Customers can find a community resource center near you during a public safety power shutoff by visiting pge.com/CRC. Now let's talk about enhanced power line safety settings and what's going on this year with that program. So for 2021, we added the more sensitive safety settings on power lines that automatically turn off power within 1/10 of a second to help stop wildfires before they start. These are called enhanced power line safety settings, or EPSS for short. And in 2022, because of the success of 2021, we expanded these settings to every customer who lives in a high fire risk area. And these settings are really proven to help stop wildfires. Last year, there was a 68% reduction in ignitions and a 99% reduction in ignition impact, meaning nearly all fires that were started were smaller and impacted less area, despite the very dry conditions we did see last year. And of course, once the power's turned off, before we can turn that power back on, we have to check the lines for damage. And we understand that while these settings do make the system safer, it may mean unplanned power outages for our customers. And so once there is an outage on any EPSS protected line, to help to try and reduce the number of overall outages in the future, we attempt to determine the outage cause and the root causes of that situation to try and fix that for the future. And this review process really is an ongoing process that we do circuit by circuit as we look at each outage and each individual circumstance. So let's go on to the next slide and talk about the differences, because obviously EPSS, PSPS, what are the differences? Why do you use them both? Is it one or the other? What are the differences? So let's talk about a few key differences. So every day we look at the wildfire risk and we decide what we need to do to protect customers. The EPSS system reduces risk from a fuel-driven wildfire. So we activate EPSS when we have a combination of dry fuels and low humidity. So when we went into the summer period, when the temperatures went up, past into the 90s and into the hundreds in the low-lying areas, we activate the EPSS system, and that basically turns on and stays on throughout most of the summertime period. Of course, we've had some periods of rain and had the fortunate situations where we've been able to disable for a period of time, but then those dry conditions return and we re-enable it. The public safety power shutoff program, though, reduces the risk of a wind-driven wildfire. So we use that when we have the low humidity levels and the dry feel that we will always have in this time of year. But then we'll have a forecast of high winds, a red flag warning from the National Weather Service, and then observations from our own crews, weather stations, et cetera. So it's really about a weather event that's coming into California versus just a persistent condition. So we inform customers in advance of a public safety power shutoff because we base it on those weather forecasts. So we can see something is coming ahead of time and let customers know of what's about to come. But we can't inform customers ahead of an EPSS outage because it's automatic, right? A tree branch falls, hits a line, something happens. This could even protect against, a car accident where it hits a pole, knocks the pole over. We can't predict where that may happen. And so for any type of outage like that, we inform customers as soon as possible and provide regular updates. And so for more information on the status of any outage and the complete restoration process, you can always go to pge.com/outages. Now I'm going to hand it back over to Liz to talk in depth about resources that we provide for our customers overall. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you, Tom. Okay, so as Tom said, we're going to look a little further into our customer resources that we provide. Our medical baseline program is an assistance program for customers who need electricity for certain medical conditions. The program includes two different kinds of help. The first type of help is an additional monthly allotment of energy or a discount based on their rate. Customers may receive gas or electricity at a lower rate each month to support qualifying medical devices. The second type of help is an extra notification for a public safety power shutoff, including a live call and doorbell rings, as Tom talked about. Customers will be considered based on medical conditions or needs, not on income. To qualify, there must be a full-time resident living in the home with a medical condition and or require use of medical device to treat an ongoing medical condition. Some examples of qualifying medical conditions include sleep apnea, respirators, or special heating and cooling needs. To view some of the other qualifying medical conditions and devices, as well as the introductory medical baseline program video, please visit pge.com/medical baseline. Please note, permanent medical baseline customers, as designated by their medical practitioners, need to self-certify every 2 years. Temporary medical baseline customers, as designated by their medical practitioners, will be required to self-certify on their 1-year anniversary. On their 2-year anniversary, they will need to be recertified by a qualified medical practitioner. This cycle will repeat as long as they are in the program. And then just a few additional notes about the medical baseline enrollment process. Individuals that are either the account holder or within the account holder's household will need the account number, the first and last names of the customer and person requiring service, along with the address. It is essential that the customer provides their email address for the application process and also provides the contact information they would like listed for outage notifications. If the medical baseline applicant is an individual with a master meter account living in a household billed by someone other than PG&E, such as an apartment or a mobile home complex, they will also need the complex name, address, manager, and the phone number for their application. Additionally, customers may also self-certify for vulnerable customer status at pge.com/VC status. This status is for customers who don't qualify for medical baseline, but they have a member of their household with a serious condition that could become life-threatening if their service is disconnected. These customers will also receive extra public safety power shutoff notifications, including doorbell rings if notifications are not acknowledged. Again, to learn more about this program, visit pge.com/VC status. Both our medical baseline and vulnerable customer statuses include prior notifications to a public safety power shutoff. We notify those customers via cell phone, text, or email. If we don't receive confirmation of a response to these notifications, we will make additional attempts by ringing the door or leaving a door hanger at the door. Another resource provided is through our Disability Disasters Access and Resources program. We are working with the California Foundation for Independent Living Centers and 16 participating disability disaster access and resource centers to provide support before and during a public safety power shutoff. This includes hotel stays, food stipends, and transportation as needed for eligible customers who may be electricity dependent. If a customer or another member of the household depends on electricity for medical needs, they can reach out to their local disability disaster access and resource centers prior to a public safety power shutoff for assistance. Here is the disability disaster access resource centers that may be open in your area if there is a public safety power shutoff. So we provide portable batteries to our customers and refrigeration for medication as part of the portable battery program and the Disability Disaster Access and Resource Program. Since the start of the program in 2020, PG&E has distributed more than 18,000 portable batteries to eligible customers through these two programs. For 2023, we have also expanded eligibility for the portable battery program to include medical baseline and self-ID'd vulnerable customers with assistive technology or durable medical equipment who have also experienced at least one public safety power shutoff in 2021 or 5 or more outages on an EPSS protected circuit in 2022. You can visit pge.com/portable battery for more information on eligibility requirements. Similar to the previous slide, here you can see the portable battery providers throughout our service territory. We have several programs which can help customers find out how they might be able to get backup power during an outage. Our generator and battery rebate program offers $300 rebate to help offset the cost of purchasing a qualified portable battery or a portable generator. To be eligible, customers must be either located in a Tier 2 or 3 high fire threat district or served by an EPSS circuit. The Self-Generation Incentive Program offers customers rebates to save on electricity storage systems in their household or business. Whether an outage is planned or unplanned, a battery would allow customers to have backup power for their home or business. Customers can visit pge.com/SGIP for more information. Lastly, the Fixed Power Solutions Program is a targeted program available to specific customers, which offers permanent, long-term backup power solutions for the most impacted customers. To learn more about this program, please visit pge.com/residential storage initiative. Okay, so food loss is a challenge for customers during a public safety power shutoff. Customers can find a combination of perishable and non-perishable foods to support their families at participating food banks. Food banks will provide food replacement packages up to 3 days after the restoration of the outage. Some food banks offer food replacement packages to income qualified customers only, while others do not have income restrictions. Please check with your local food bank where necessary. In addition to food replacement partnerships, we are also working with Meals on Wheels to provide an additional meal for seniors impacted by a public safety power shutoff. To learn more about food support offered by PG&E, visit pge.com/disability and aging. On this slide, you will see a list of our food bank partners throughout our service area. As a reminder, we will be posting this presentation online in the coming days. You will be able to see this map as well as all the other resources by visiting pge.com/webinars. On this map, you will see the Meals on Wheels partners that provide resources to our customers and the counties they serve. So next is our 211 partnership. PG&E is partnering with 211. They are a free, confidential calling and texting service to provide customers with support and resources during periods of critical need. This will help give customers, especially those with access and functional needs, a single source of information during public safety power shutoffs and connection to available resources in their communities. Services are available through the year to help support customers before and during emergencies. You can learn more about this service at 211.org. More customer resources and information about our wildfire safety efforts can be found at pge.com/wildfire safety or by going directly to the pages shown here. To help you prepare for an emergency, you can visit PG&E Safety Action Center for resources, tips, and videos to stay safe. An emergency can happen at any time. We recommend preparing in advance by making sure PG&E has your contact information to reach you, planning for your family's medical needs, checking your emergency kit, charging your everyday devices, and conducting a safety check for any backup power generators. Our Report It Safety app is a great tool for you to use to report and submit photos of non-emergency safety concerns directly to us. PG&E will review all submissions to the Report It app in the event of an emergency. Please call 911 though. All right, now we're going to transition to the Q&A portion of today's event. As a reminder, you can ask a question by submitting in the Q&A box via chat. We will do our best to answer all the questions we have received. If we are not able to get your question today, please reach out to our dedicated email address for the program, which is wildfiresafety@pge.com, and we will respond promptly. Another note, in a few days, we will have this presentation posted to PGE website at pge.com/webinars. And while we're waiting for questions to come in too, Tom, I thought I would start the questions by just asking if there's one takeaway from this meeting that you would strongly recommend for our audience, what would that be?
Yeah, so thank you, Liz, and great information there. I know it was a lot of dense information, but all the links are in the chat. So for all of this information, so please take advantage of that. And thanks for all the info today, Liz. I would say if there's one thing to take away, it would be mainly about the contact information. As we continue to see, our notifications that we send out to customers have much of this information in an event. So there are links that take you directly to some of our support pages et cetera. And so signing up, again, we talked about phone numbers, but the other thing is email addresses. And we tend to change our email address that we're using a little bit more often potentially than we do maybe even a phone number. And in those emails that you receive from us, there's a lot of links that'll take you directly to support pages, applications, et cetera. And so I would definitely encourage you to, we only have about somewhere between 50 to 60% email, good emails for customers. So I would encourage you to share that with us. We don't send too much spam. Of course, there is a little bit that we send out as any, company sends out regular updates, et cetera. But in an event, you definitely want to get those notifications and ensure that you're up to date with the latest. So I would say that was my number one takeaway is review, go to the link that was shared earlier and review your contact information.
Great tips, Tom. Thank you so much. And kind of along those same lines, we got a question. So I think it'd just be expanding on that, but we got a question related to our vulnerable customer self-ID program, and a question about, what additional things does a customer receive if they enroll in something like that? And I think you already kind of alluded to some of those things, and we mentioned in the presentation that they do get that additional public safety power shutoff notification. Can you talk a little bit about the additional items that also come along with that enrollment there?
Yeah. So along with that, you also receive a notice 48 hours before any service is disconnected or disrupted due to non-payment, and then a notice or a visit from PG&E at the time of disconnection. Obviously, we understand, in today's economic environment, times are difficult. I would say if anybody is having trouble paying their PG&E bill, to please contact us and work with us on payment arrangements. And there's lots of things that we can do. There are assistance programs out there. The number one thing you can do to really harm yourself, though, is not talk to us. So please talk to us, work out payment arrangements. But if you are on that vulnerable status, we will still check and make an additional contact with you and really try and do everything that we can to make sure that power is not disrupted. Understanding that modern lives really depend on electricity.
Thank you so much for that, Tom. And yeah, I think you really hit it home. The most important thing that we could ask of folks is, that contact information and reaching out to us if you have any questions. As Tom mentioned, we have posted links to all of the things we talked about in the chat. If you have questions about that, please follow up and use those links. Or again, you can send your questions directly to wildfiresafety@pge.com. I'm not seeing any additional questions coming in at this time, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of wrap things up. First, I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to join our wildfire safety webinar. We always welcome your feedback and input. So again, if you didn't have a chance to answer a question or maybe didn't, think this was the right form for asking your question, please reach out to us at wildfiresafety@pge.com, and we will make sure to get back to you very promptly. Thank you again and have a safe day.